Welcome to the Sports Drink Club. I am your host, Patrick Melton. My co-host, Keenan Duke, not here today, but we are here on a Saturday with our Texas High School football edition. With our first guest of the Texas High School football edition, my man, Kendrick Stevenson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
All right, man. Just tell the public, man, actually how I found you.
Well, I was scrolling down Instagram one of these days, and I seen a post about how the Cowboys had knocked out the Seahawks in a wild card round. I just, decided to put a little comment that they only beat us for the simple fact that we did not have a kicker that game. Obviously, we lost by three. That was a real big factor to me.
Now,
And
when
he
you say
commented,
us, you a Seahawks fan, huh?
I'm a real big Seahawks fan.
How'd you come across that, man? You live in Texas. How you a Seahawks fan, man?
Uh, when I first fell in love with football, the first person I did gravitate towards was Ray Lewis, and then my first the first football game I watched was his last football game, and then I found out about Richard Sherman. I really liked Richard Sherman, just like his whole attitude and how he played, and I fell in love with the whole defense.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found Russell Wilson. I was like, you know what? This is my team. I gotta love the whole team.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, you go ahead and continue the story, man. So, I found you on Instagram. You were scrolling through Instagram.
Yeah, I put my little 2 cents in on the post, and you came back and you was like, hey, you want to talk about football? Like, yeah, sure. I love talking about football. I argue with it with the homies all the time. Might as well.
Yeah, man. Here on the Sports Drink Club, man, we might find you randomly on Instagram, man, to ask you to pull up on the show. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to pull up on the show, man. But we've been in contact here with Kendrick. He's a fine young man, and so we wanted to bring him on just to basically talk about Texas high school football and kind of his day-to-day grind. And if anybody doesn't know, any of the listeners out there don't understand, Texas high school football here is a religion. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go to a state football game here, 6A, at Texas Stadium at Jerry World, where there's about 30,000 fans. Kendrick, am I lying?
No, sir, you are not.
I'm trying to tell you,
Man.
man. I am not lying. 30,000 strong, at least sometimes 50,000 strong, just depending on who's playing. But I want to dive in, just about you. So, we got you on the show here today. We want to talk to you a little bit. So if you could just tell the public here, what school you're at, what position you play.
Right now I'm at Woodrow Wilson, but I plan on transferring to Lake Collins the next fall season. I play running back and middle linebacker. You know,
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
And how did you get into that which side of the ball do you like playing on? You like playing on the offensive side of the ball, or the defensive side of the ball?
I love playing on the offensive side of the ball, run the ball and get yards. That's my whole thing.
I understand that, man. So over at Woodrow Wilson, y'all are DISD. So you're playing people like Molina. Who else are you playing at Woodrow Wilson?
Well, the way that the schedule was set up this week, last year and this year is you play like four DISD teams, and the other teams are like kind of like out of DISD, and you're not like really projected to win those games because
Mhm.
they're like such high caliber teams. Like one team that Woodrow plays is Lake Hollins. That's like a real nice school, real powerhouse.
Exactly.
Mansfield, Timberview, the Mansfield teams are real great. So those are games you're not really projected to win, but you could always win them.
Right, right. And correct me if I'm wrong. Uh with it being 4A, 5A, 6A now, formerly when I was playing in high school, the highest was 5A. Okay.
Hmm.
And we were playing teams like Lake Highlands. We were playing teams like Richardson Bergner. We were playing teams, I went to Plano Senior High. So, we were playing Allen, Plano West, McKinney, Keller Fossil Ridge, outside
Yeah.
of, district or whatever it may be. But correct me if I'm wrong. There is talent at Woodrow Wilson that could play at these 6A teams, correct?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. They really could.
Yeah. And so just with you wanting to transfer over to Lake Highlands, tell me this. If you do take your talents over to Lake Highlands, how far do you think that the team can go just based off of your assessment on playing those guys and seeing them with your own eyes?
My big thing is I'm a real big guy on teamwork. So, just adding one piece to the puzzle, yes, it could take you very far places, but Lake Collins is already like very talented school, and they're already playoff bound without me. So I feel like you adding me to it just would just make you one step higher. Like
Right,
it's all about one eleventh. You know, input 111 input. That's what my defensive coordinator told me at Woodrow.
right. I get you on that, man. And you know, when did you start playing football, man? Like when did you know that, this is for me? Unless if you play some other sports I don't know about.
Oh well, yeah, I am a multi-sport player, but I started playing football when I was around 6, and that was my first year playing football, and I didn't too much like it. So I stopped playing until the last 2 years that you're eligible for Little League. Now I
Right.
think it was like 11 and 12 or 10 and 11, one of those. Then I got into football in middle school, and I played for the TW Brown Trojans, and the city championship. And my 8th grade year, we went to the city championship,
Okay.
but we lost my 8th grade year to W Holmes. So, I fell in love with it because when you cry about something, you sit up and grind. You grind those 9 months. We grinded that football, summertime and all, just to get to the city championship and to lose. That's when I was like, okay, I'm in love with this sport. I got to keep playing this.
I hear you, man. And you know, how did your team look this past year over at Woodrow Wilson? What was the record, and how did you contribute to the ball club?
Honestly, I played football last fall in North Dallas, and then I transferred to Woodrow in the spring.
Okay.
And it's like it's disheartening to know that I'm leaving this newly built Woodrow program because we just got a new head coach, Coach Benedetto,
Right.
and he's building some great things over there. We got some amazing people to play on the team, and it hurts to know that I'm about to leave that. But last year they were pretty good. They were really talented team, but I know they're going to go way further this year.
Hmm. Well, okay. So just based off of how you sound, man, you don't sound like you from here. But are you from Texas? Where are you from, man?
Yes, sir. I'm from Oak Cliff. It's just that you gotta change around a little bit.
I hear you on that, man. I got a lot of people out there in the cliff, man. Got a lot of family members, man. Let me ask you something. You picked Lake Highlands, but why didn't you want to pick one of the DISD powerhouses? Like a Dallas Carter or like a Skyline.
Honestly, I'm not a big Skyline fan. Anytime someone brings up Skyline to me, I can name a bunch of teams off the back of my head. It's just like can run through Skyline. Um, I hate Carter. I hate Carter because the part of Oak Cliff that I grew up in was Kimball Estates, like right there on Westmoreland, Shady Hollow Lane,
Right.
right behind Kimball. So my freshman year, I went to Kimball. I played spring ball there. So I couldn't imagine myself going from Kimball to Carter just because how bad that rivalry is.
Exactly. And for people who don't know, man, that's the Oak Cliff Super Bowl, if I'm not correct.
Yes, sir. Oak Cliff Super Bowl right there.
I hear you on that, man. Well, I just want to know, man. You sound like a very you sound like you got it all together, man, in your head and exactly where you want to go, and that's great, man. We need to see more young brothers like yourself, man, that are focused and wanting to know what it is that they want to do. But what schools are you interested in if you were to go and play at the next level?
Honestly, UT has been my favorite college since I was in around second grade, but um, I'm starting to become more realistic and knowing that okay, like I have D1 talents, I just don't have D1 size. Like no, I haven't talked to a single D1 recruiter where they're recruiting a guy 5'4", 5'3", you
Right.
know. So yes, I would love to go to UT, but I'd settle for any scholarship that'll help me expand my education and take me to the next level.
I hear you on
Doing
that. So how tall are you standing?
5'4".
5'4", man. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Size is you can't measure size, with inches and feet, man. It's all on the inside. You know plenty of players right now that's in the NFL that have had long careers. One of them, that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, Darren Sproles, long time career, and he was considered undersized. There's a lot of players out there, man, that are considered undersized. I wouldn't let any scout deter you from your hard work and dedication, man. So keeping that mindset is definitely it's definitely great. But you know, it's all about being real. When you say you want to be realistic, man, it's all where you want to take it. So I just want you to keep that in mind with, you know, trying to go to the next level. Don't let your size be an excuse on you working hard to try to get to the next level, because guess what? All it takes is one scout to like you, and you can end up going and playing on that D1 level. So just keep that in mind, man. But what do you like to do in your free time, man? I know a lot of, you know, know a lot of people out here, man, be on the game. You know, I like to be on the game too. I'm a big Madden guy, man, but it seems like Fortnite is taking over Madden right now. Are you a Fortnite guy? You a Madden guy? You a 2K guy? I need to hear what's going on, man.
Honestly, I've played all three. Before before these past, I want to say seasons and Fortnite, it was either this season or last season. I just kind of like I stopped playing because this other battle royale game called Apex that came out, and I was real good at that. I played to
Yeah,
like day two. So I took off in there, started playing that a lot, and then when I stopped playing Apex, I tried to go back to Fortnite. It was like it felt too different. Controls were different. I was like, I'm gonna stick to Apex. So I play the game a lot, but if I'm not playing the game, most likely with my girlfriend or just like in the gym trying to get
right.
better.
Are you the nicest one out of your group of friends, man, on the Apex, on the Fortnite? Anybody
Oh,
messing with you on the sticks, man?
it's only one of my friends that can actually like compete against me, and that's just because he's a Wraith main. Like I'm versatile, I can play with anybody. He's a Wraith main. Like this man got like 1,000 kills with only her. I'm like, dude, play with somebody else, please.
So, man, what's your take this year, man, on the NBA Finals? I know that the Warriors are making it for the fifth consecutive year. We also got a big time game tonight with the Bucks and the Raptors. Who you like tonight, man, with the Bucks and the Raptors? Even though that this episode is going to be down the line, I want people to know that you guessed it right. So, who you like, man, for the finals?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm a LeBron fan. I do not keep up with
Oh
basketball unless
man.
LeBron is there. Like I'm just not that big on basketball. But I know Kawhi plays for Toronto, so I'm gonna go with Kawhi because Kawhi he nice.
All right. All right. So you think the Raptors gonna wrap it up tonight? They going to the finals.
I think they are.
All right, man. We go ahead and put that on record, man. So who's your favorite football player and why, man?
Are we going all time or are we going active?
We could go two, we could go one all time and one active right now if you want.
Getting into it, all time is gonna have to be Marshawn Lynch. I've always like modeled my
Wow.
running
Okay. That's a
right
good one.
behind Marshawn. I even got so obsessed to the fact where I had my homies carrying Skittles on the sidelines for me. Man, um, actively, I'm sorry. Actively, I would have to go with either Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a quarterback guy, but it would be yeah. Oh no, I'll take that back. Take that back. Wilson or Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner is nice,
It's
man.
he's to me he's a top three linebacker,
Okay.
and he's so like under talked about because of the secondary that the Seahawks had behind him. Legion of Boom just kind of like finally disbanded, so now Bobby Wagner is getting his recognition
Right.
on like how he's really like leading that defense.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is with the Seahawks is that they've got a great system and put in place. Obviously with Pete Carroll being the head coach and knowing how to pick talent and them actually finding talent deep in the draft. It just goes to show you that they value players' skill sets for their particular system and they make it work. So when everybody got all out of arms, it all discombobulated about, letting Richard Sherman go or not paying Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, retiring. What ends up happening is that, you see somebody like a Russell Wilson who got taken in the third round, which a lot of people don't know that he's getting paid first round money right now, but he got taken in the third round. A guy like Doug Baldwin, how do you make a team like that work? A lot of late round draft picks, stuff like that. Well, it's because they have a great system. They got a great coach. And honestly, when it comes to football, I feel like that is 100% just as important as the players that's on the field. People say that players win the game, but the coach is just as important. And with you being in high school right now and understanding how to play as a team, how important is it for your coach, for you to gain your respect to your coach, so you're going out there and performing? How important is that for you?
Honestly, I've never like I want to say I never judged a coach on his background. Like, yeah, I like coaches that would be ex NFL players. I had a defensive back coach in North Dallas, Coach Levels. He used to play for the Bengals, and he was a real nice coach. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I like coaches that understand the same amount of football as I do,
Right.
and even more, because when we do film sessions, or when we break down offensive plays, it seems like I know the most out of the whole group of players that there are. Like, no one knew what a Tampa 2 type defense was when Coach Freeman brought it up, and no one knows a lot of these things. But you just like you pick up on those things watching and breaking down so much football. Like, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch the Sam's Room. He breaks down a bunch of players. Great
Right.
film. So it's like that with me, to be honest.
I hear you on that. So it sounds like that you a big time film rat, man. You like being in the you like being in the film room, studying, trying to get an edge on your opponent, trying to get better, whatever it is that you're trying to do. It sounds like that you don't mind being in the film, because there's a lot of guys with talent that don't like being in the film room, man. So what is it for you that you like being in the film room so much?
Um, my head coach at Woodrow put me onto this. He was like, "You have to be obsessed over the little things." And ever since he said that, it kind of like stuck to me a lot. Like, now, when I go back and watch the spring football game from last night, like, I had a pretty solid game, but while I was playing it, it felt like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. But I go back and watch it,
Exactly.
I'm filling the right holes, I'm triggering the right way, and me doing my 111th had my other teammates making tackles for losses, making tackles right there at the line of scrimmage. So I'm
Exactly.
proud of that.
All right. And if you don't end up going to play professional football somewhere, man, if I'm not watching you on Sunday, or if I'm not watching you on Canada or Arena or something like that, what does Kendrick have, man? What in store for himself?
Honestly, it's in the throw up right now, because a couple years ago I was gonna study to become a lawyer, because I got into AVID programs in the schools I was in, and they always seemed to do mock trials or bring lawyers in. I
Mhm.
never knew like how that all was linked together, but AVID always seemed to have lawyers, and every time I did a mock trial, I always won. I'm undefeated in the courtroom right now. I love bragging that to my friends. Like, I'm like, yeah, one day y'all gonna need a lawyer. I'll be
Right.
right there.
That's a great goal to have, man. And I think a lot of times, what I understand is there's a lot of different peer pressures. There's a lot of different, you know, um, extracurriculars outside of your sports bubble that can draw you away from what you like to do most. How does how do you, the person Kendrick, get or stay focused with academics, with your athletics, and not get too influenced with the outside forces that could be negatively affecting you you know it, in the high school world, or just in the world period? How do you block that stuff out, man, and stay focused and continue to grind like you have?
Two people. It's my mom and my girlfriend, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, they help me so much. My mom keeps me from going to parties, and I mean, I've attended one after party. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was fun. I'd do some more, but the person I am, I like to, relax, sit at home, watch Netflix, kind of stay out the mix. Be with my girlfriend. We'll go out or something, or she's
Mhm.
lazy too, so we sit in the house and watch Netflix. So there's really like not a time where I'm not. I never really study, because the things that I learned in the classroom, it sticks well with me. So I never really have to study, but the homework I try to stay on top of, and I try to keep my grades at a high level, because coaches always say, your GPA will separate your film from other guys' film. Like, you guys got the exact same film, but my GPA shows 3.4 and yours is a 3.0 or a 2.9.
Right.
They're gonna go in at 3.4 right there. So I try to
Exactly.
try to keep that in mind right there too. And I
I hear
play other sports.
I hear you. What now? What are the other sports that you participating in, man?
I'm a wrestler, and I don't like football and wrestling is my main two, and I always kind of like just throw in a third sport like different.
Right.
And this year, I think I'm gonna try track, and if I like track, I'm gonna stick with track.
Okay.
Um,
Beautiful.
but last year I golfed, and
Okay.
freshman year was just football and wrestling. Yeah.
Okay. So you getting into a little bit of golf, man. You got a set of golf clubs, man. What's good?
Nah. I wanted to get that deep, but the stuff started getting expensive, and I'm like, the funds weren't right at the time.
Right.
So couldn't really stick with that unless it was school golf. So
Exactly. Well, you got plenty of time to get golf clubs, man. Trust me, man, because when it's all over and you somebody like me, man, you be trying to recapture the moments. All you got to do, man. All I do now, man, is work out, play golf. When it's over, man, it's over. Trust me, you don't want to be no has-been like me, man. Try to get, people on my damn podcast. Okay. So, hey, it's gonna be at one point in time, you're gonna say that you're either going to have one or two things that's going to end up happening at the end of your career. You're going to either say, man, I had a really good career. I'm really proud of myself. I did everything that I wanted to do. Or, man, I regret, doing this or not doing this or whatever it may be, man. So if there's any sort of advice that I could give to you today is to give everything, put it all out there on the table, because these are going to be some of the best, times of your life, whether it be here in high school or at the next level. Because once it's over and you're in the working world, man, and if you're not, playing football professionally, getting money, man, that education is definitely going to be key, man, for you to get, the position that you want or the respect that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So just continue to keep grinding, man, and keep working hard. But I got a couple more questions for you, man. I understand that you said you was watching Netflix, man. What's your show right now, man? Because I know I got a couple shows that I like on there right now.
Honestly, shows I'm gonna go with. I'm on Baki right now. The Baki anime. I'm getting into season 2.
Okay.
But we got different streaming services. Like I pay for Hulu. My girlfriend pays for HBO now,
Okay. So y'all be
and
watching Game of Thrones? Y'all watch that Game of
nah,
Thrones? Nah.
I cannot get into Game of Thrones, and like it's been out for so long, and people just they tell me stuff about it, and then they just tell me how the ending was trash. I'm like, well, I would have probably went back and watched all 8 seasons, but to know that the end of season 8 is going to be trash, might as well not even watch it.
I feel the same exact way as you do. I feel the same exact way as you do, man. But I've been on that Narcos, man. I just really got caught up with it. Um,
Oh,
Anybody who haven't watched Narcos, you got to read subtitles. But to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter because there's a lot of action going on in there anyway, man. So I recommend anybody who hasn't seen Narcos, man, check it out. It's a great show. But
ooh, if you like Narcos, I think you should watch Ozark. Ozark was an amazing show.
yeah, Ozark was good too. I
It
like
was
that
an
one.
amazing show.
I like that one. They gonna have to come out with a third season. They're only on the second season yet.
They on the hush. They're coming out with a season 3 because my
Beautiful.
psychology teacher's neighbor got the job, and
All
she's gonna be
right.
the director on it. Don't tell him I told you. He ain't hear from me.
Hey man, we got some insider info, man, from my man Kendrick. But is there anything you want to tell the people, man, about just what you got in store for these guys in 2019, 2020? Anything you want to tell everybody right now?
I've never been a guy to post all my workout videos online and stuff like that. It's just know I'm gonna be in the lab, and every day I'm gonna try to get better.
All right, man. I hear you on that, man. Well, Kendrick, I appreciate you coming on. Hey, this is huge. This is for our Texas High School football special. This is our first guest that we've had on it. We appreciate you coming on the Sports Drink Club. But I am Patrick Melton, along with my special guest today, Kendrick Stevenson. Be looking out for him at Lake Highlands this year, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, I definitely am right up the street. So let me know when the games, let me know. I'll be more than happy to come check you out. But I am Patrick Melton. My co-host Keenan Duke is eating somewhere on Memorial Day, having a good time. But this has been the Sports Drink Club, and we out.